Heyo, how's everybody doing? I am EonShiKeno, back with another Starcraft 2 commentary, and tonight I've got another co-commentator with me. Today I have with me Axel. How you doing, Axel?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Thanks for having me on. Good to be here. You know, I can't think of a better way to spend a Thursday night, to be honest.
All right.
I can't. I just can't. I thought a while. You know, do I want to be in Hawaii? No, I just want to cast some Starcraft 2 with EonShiKeno.
That's, I think, the best anybody's ever said my name before.
Really?
It's pretty good.
Nice.
Pretty good.
We should, like, when we watch the video with a VOD, we just splice that one out, and then we can make a soundboard. Good idea?
Soundboard, yeah.
And then whenever you're casting, you can just play it. You can play EonShiKeno, however I just said it, right?
Like,
then,
the GG button.
It's done, exactly.
All right, so enough of us. Let's introduce our players here. We have two players, both under AKAs. So let's AKAs, also known as.
Nice.
And AI Candy, actually known as Theognis from Team Quantic. He's going to be our blue Terran player on the right side of Tiga Shipyard, and his opponent over here on the left, the red Protoss player under the pseudonym Full Tilt Poker. That's going to be HongunPrime, the Korean players. He's still on Prime, isn't he? Yeah,
I think so.
Because there's been a lot of team switching over there, mostly TSL. They've been losing a lot of players, but I think Hongun is still on Prime, from what I recall.
I'm not entirely sure, but you know what? I don't believe you anyway. I think these are two random players.
Well, we'll see. If the game is really good, then I'll be redeemed. How's that?
All right, that sounds good.
All right, so we've got Full Tilt Poker, aka HongunPrime, scouting down the bottom right, and Theognis is going straight across the middle of the map. It's interesting.
Looks like a gasless expand here from Theognis. No gases just yet, which implies that he wants to save those minerals for a command center. Of course, he could just throw down like 5 barracks. That's another thing you can do when you don't take gases.
Yeah, that is that build can work. I've seen it work.
Have you?
Yes.
It sounds like you died to it before.
No.
No? Okay. Never mind. I'll have to play you one time and then kill you with it so that you can have that experience. It's not fun at all.
You play Terran? Come on.
Dude, I play every race. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Come at me. You watched me play. I played Terran vs. Zerg against a guy, and I destroyed him, and you were there. You saw it. I know you remember that. I know you remember that.
Stop putting memories in my mind.
See, man? That's what's up. That's what's up.
Oh, man. So, we're probably going to see a Nexus, a Gateway Nexus build, from here, from HongunPrime. And Theognis is leaving an SCV down there by that expansion, so we can be aware if he just decides to throw up a Nexus without scouting down there, clearing it out first with the Stalker. And will he do that? He's got a rally down there, but it's a little bit outside of the range of that SCV, so he probably won't see it. This little hidden SCV scout here may pay off.
This is a little bit interesting. I don't know if I'm looking at this wrong. Oh, okay, so I'm not seeing any buildings for the vision of Full Tilt Poker or Hongun. You know, did he just, like, I guess he just saw a Marine and then just left? Because he doesn't see, like, if you look at his vision, you don't see the barracks and the 2 supply depots. It's a little bit confusing. I'm just a little bit confused right now. But I think he knows where his opponent is. It's just a little weird that he hasn't scouted anything more than, well, anything. He hasn't seen anything blue on the map yet, besides maybe a Marine. I don't know. Yeah,
I wasn't paying attention to his probe, but I'm pretty sure when he went up that ramp, he got shot.
Yeah,
actually, let's check the
unit. He does have 16 HP.
Actually, Red hasn't lost any unit. Oh, yeah, you're right. He lost 60 HP.
16 HP.
Okay, yeah, so he did get shot a little bit. So he probably saw the Marines at the top of the ramp there.
And then left.
Got deflected.
But he didn't see the buildings. That's so confusing. I guess
there weren't any buildings there. I mean, he didn't get near the ramp.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Marine probably came out. Anyway, it's important because, I mean, obviously it's a good thing if you see the buildings of your opponent so you know what they're doing. And Hongun hasn't seen anything. So that's, like, I guess that's the point I'm trying to get to. But that being said, Hongun poking up with the Stalker sees a bunker at the top of the ramp. That doesn't necessarily mean he knows that his opponent has done a fast expand. You know, it could just be like a fake. But Theognis did, in fact, fast expand. Hongun has no way of knowing that, though. But he's going to put down an expansion of his own.
And look at this scout from Theognis. He gets in there with the SCV past 2 sentries, sees the gateways, sees everything, sees the forge. That's one thing about Theognis is he scouts so extremely well and so consistently throughout the entire game.
Yeah, Theognis is a member of Quantic Gaming. I have been involved with them for quite a bit, and you know, I feel like I'm one of the people who knows a lot about Theognis. You know, not a lot of people know about him, and he is amazing with his SCV scouts. Like every 2 minutes, he'll send an SCV just to see what's up, and you gotta do that as Terran. You have mules at home; they give you a bunch of freaking minerals. So just throw away an SCV here and there, just get some scouting information. It's better than wasting a scan, at least.
Yeah, scan. The mule's mine 200 and
a lot. I just say a lot.
75, I want to say. I think it's more than that actually, but it's a lot of money. It's more than an SCV, that's for sure.
Yeah. So the moral of the story: if you don't want to use mules instead of scans, send some SCVs to scout here and there. But Theognis could be pushing out with some Marines and Marauders. This is behind a timing. It looks like it's not behind any specific timing. I mean, Concussive Shell is just finished, but Stim is still only 20% of the way done. So I feel like Theognis is not gonna go all the way across the map here. Or that would be quite silly, because this is not an impressive army from him as of right now.
Yeah, probably just trying to stoke some fear in the heart of HongunPrime. This is something you see a lot versus Zerg players, but I mean, in theory, it works versus every race. They maybe build a couple extra units, spin their Chrono Boost on those gateways instead of something else.
Yeah, and Theognis taking on the Rockshot of the third, not a bad idea. Of course, later on in the game, that can be a nice little, alternate avenue of attack. A lot of Terran players love just poking some Marines and Marauders up there while at the same time sending the majority of their army through the middle, then perhaps dropping in the back of the Protoss base. And if you don't have good APM, if you don't have good micro, if your multitasking sucks, you're going to be torn apart if a Terran does that to you. But Theognis just going to throw scan in his opponent's main base, sees the Forge, sees the Twilight Council just finishing. So Theognis looks like he's going to return back home and get some medevacs, it looks like.
Yeah, medevac's on the way. He's got a nice little supply wall up there in the front of his base.
Yep.
Might as well do that. And
so good.
Yep, reactor going to be placed on that starport. He's going to be able to pump out a lot of medevacs. Now, do you know if Theognis likes to do a lot of dropship harass, or is he just more of a straight-up style fighting with the...
From what I know, I feel like, if the opportunity is there, then yeah, he'll go for it. I don't necessarily know if he goes into the game and he's like, all right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna expand, and then at 10 minutes, I'm gonna drop in 2 different locations. I don't know if he necessarily does that, but yes, he has been known to do drops here and there. And as a good Terran player, why wouldn't you? Yeah. That's one of those resources you have available to you, doing drops with those medevacs. I mean, you can just hide a drop or medevac in space somewhere. Is the Protoss gonna build a freaking Phoenix just to kill your medevac? No. So your medevac's gonna be safe back there, and you can just harass all game long if you wanted to. So I would not be surprised to see Theognis do some nice droppy stuff.
And look at this Marine down here for Theognis in the third base, or at least future third base for HongunPrime. I love that scouting. And vice versa, we have HongunPrime putting some scout pylons over there on the right side of the map. They work in multiple fashions. They can scout medevac drops on the way. They could reinforce in weird situations. I just love the exploration that both of these players seem to have all over the map with their units and their buildings. Especially look at this factory flying over there.
Yeah, I mean, that's the art of being Terran. You can just lift off your buildings and scout them if you don't need them. I mean, the factory. Oh, actually, hold that. I thought there might be engagement in the middle of the map here. EonShiKeno, Theognis backing up. Ooh, has to be careful. Doesn't want those medevacs to get sniped away. Hongun does have Blink. One Marine feeling like a hero, turning around, trying to engage the army. He's like, let's go, guys. But no, Theognis going to keep running away.
Yeah, he had a lot of had some reinforcements back there at his base. I think he could have actually taken that fight pretty well, but he wanted to wait just a little bit, maybe for some more reinforcements and go for it. But he did have a supply lead going into that future fight, or that fight that never was.
Yeah, it's scary when your opponent has those sentries, so you have to be really careful about where you're going to engage. Obviously, Theognis is on the low ground, and Hongun is on the high ground in the middle of the map there, and Hongun is able to get some nice force fields down and completely split up his army. It's not good news for Theognis, but that being said, Theognis loading up 3 medevacs going into the main of Hongun, and this is one of the most annoying things that can happen to you as a Protoss player.
Yeah, Hongun was across the map, taking out that factory, and that just worked out so perfectly for Theognis. He's just going in here, taking out a bunch of gateways, and he's just going to run around the back here. No, he just takes out that gateway. Now he can run around the back, and he's just going to be in an amazing position. He has all these minerals in the way. Those charge is nice, but whenever you only have 2 or 3 zealots attacking like 30 Marines and Marauders, what's the point? And there's just so much damage going on right now.
Yeah, Hongun is going to clean this up. Theognis, a lot of you are probably like, why didn't Theognis lift off and leave? Well, he's doing that right now, but that's why. The Stalkers can just blink forward and take down the medevacs. Theognis knew his opponent had a heavy Stalker count, and he also knew his opponent had researched Blink because he experienced that earlier in the game, in the middle of the map there, the Stalker's blinking forward. Theognis saw that, so he's aware that his opponent is able to blink underneath his dropships and snipe him. So Theognis just kept his units there. It wasn't necessarily a bad thing because the engagement for Hongun, it was really awkward. He had to try to like squeeze his way through the mineral line while knocking probes aside. So you know, I really think that Theognis got the better of that engagement.
Yeah, and after the end of the fight, he was ahead in supply. So bought him a lot of time, took out a lot of production for HongunPrime, and at the same time, set up his third, has many more workers over there than HongunPrime does. Let's check the worker count: 56 versus 66. So he did a lot of economic damage there with that hit as well, and the money, the income is extremely favoring HongunPrime right now.
Yeah, and you know, Hongun actually going for a High Templar pretty quickly here, relatively quickly. A lot of Protoss players love going for that Colossi play first, but Hongun, that's not the case here. He's going for that High Templar Archives before. Does he even have a Robo? Sure he does. He has to have a Robo.
I haven't seen one.
Oh my god. Okay, so he doesn't have a Robo, but there is an engagement about to happen, I think, on the Terran side of the map. Lots of Sentries, High Templars. The High Templar do have Storm Research. They do have enough energy to throw down Storms, but Hongun, once again, not going to commit and going to back up.
And look at this. Actually, Theognis pulling some SCVs. Yeah, he's worried about that fight. He's like, I don't want to lose this fight. Pulls SCVs just in case. And then he's like, all right, I think I'm safe. Those guys can go back to work.
You know, you know, I support that. Whenever you're getting attacked as a Terran player, pull some SCVs. Not all of them. Don't like box your entire mineral line. No, you know, gauge it logically. How many should I bring to take some damage so I can have a little bit of a slight of an advantage? Because you have mules, so you can just drop mules if some SCVs dies. And even so, as this game gets later and as Theognis adds more and more orbital commands, SCVs are going to become not as necessary because you have those mules dropping down, and you can use more of that supply on army. He won't need those SCVs later game anyway, so we'll have to see what ends up happening here. I like Theognis' position, but that being said, Hongun doing a tech switch into double Robo Colossi, it looks like getting a lot of upgrades. It's at +1 Protoss shields. You don't see that very often. And also researching Protoss ground weapons level 3. Yeah,
and I just love the defensive play both players have near the third base. Theognis throwing up that sensor tower, and look at these High Templar placements that HongunPrime has. In the right side of his base, the bottom right, he's got some High Templar there, ready to intercept, to do some feedbacks on some medevacs. Yep. And look at this, even another scout SCV there from Theognis running right down there to that third, just hanging out, checking out what the photon cannon's up to. And now getting shot in the face.
Brave SCV. Yeah, so this is cool. I love the High Templar placements from Hongun here. Obviously, you can feedback any medevacs that come close. So if you're ever getting a headache from drops, just plant a High Templar somewhere near your Nexus, and next to a cannon is good too. But looks like the Theognis coming forward, scanning, trying to find out where those High Templar are to throw down some EMPs. Actually going to snipe down 2 High Templar right away. Very nice control. Make that 3 High Templar, but nice Size Storm from Hongun. But Hongun coming up the ramp wants nothing to do with this. But Theognis in such a good position here, I feel like. The high ground, so much DPS on these Marines and Marauders. Hongun not able to get any storms. There's 1 storm, and it looks like Theognis going to come out on top big time, but more and more storms going down from Hongun.
Yeah. HongunPrime has lost essentially his entire army, now just thriving off reinforcements. But I mean, throughout the beginning of that whole fight, Theognis was in such an amazing position. He ran up there, got the snipes on those High Templar before they could do anything. Had the high ground. He was forcing HongunPrime to run up that ramp through the choke points. And, I mean, Theognis already had a concave, you know, it was just an amazing position.
And he's going to snipe the third here, too, and just run away. He's completely fine with that. It's like deja vu. I was just laddering. And this exact same situation happened to me. I was the Protoss player. I kept losing my third, but another engagement going to happen here. Hongun trying to engage Theognis in the middle of the map. Has an Archon to his name. Archons are oh so strong, except when they get EMP'd. But it looks like Theognis should be able to deal with this. That being said, Hongun is definitely making it a fight. Only left with an Immortal and a few Blink Stalkers, but Hongun finally going to blink out of there. But Theognis sniping his opponent's third. He's on 3 bases, adding another command center, actually moving a command center to the gold. You know, he's looking just fine. And about that engagement, I mean, Theognis was basically in control of that engagement. He was the one sniping with the ghost. Usually as a Protoss player, you want to have an observer, you know, watching what your opponent is doing. You want to be the one with your High Templars trying to find the ghost. But right there, Theognis, he laid down the scan. He was trying to find his opponent's spellcasters, and I think that helped him hugely. He sniped 4 High Templar before that battle even began, and that's why he's up in supply 158 to 138. But Hongun once again going into double Colossi production. Where the Vikings from Theognis, Theognis, I don't see any EonShiKeno.
Yeah, he's going to need to get him out. He has a reactor on that starport, so he can make them. I don't know if he's even aware of this. Let me check his vision. No, he doesn't see any of that, but now he does with the scan. But these Colossus are really nice. Tech switch Colossus, not that, or actually Ghost, not that great versus Colossus. And right after that scan, Theognis sees the Colossus, instantly starts 2 Vikings, so he's ready for the counter tech switch. And
right, and something else to consider: these Colossi have 3 armor. And the Vikings, not so much on the weapons upgrade. I don't think they're upgraded at all. But it looks like there might be another engagement here on EonShiKeno. Theognis leading once again with his Ghost, trying to EMP absolutely everything, and that's exactly what he does, stimming up his entire army. Storms going down from HongunPrime, melting away a select few of Theognis' army. But it looks like Theognis should stand tall, but those 3 Colossi should do a lot of damage here, Matt.
Yeah, we have Vikings coming from the right. There's such a nice concave here from Theognis, and we have reinforcements coming in. Zealots coming in for reinforcements. He's going to need those Zealots to tank it for those Colossi, but there's no AA to deal with these Vikings. Those Vikings getting free pot shots. Those Zealots pretty much can't do much anymore as their reinforcements are falling back, but there's just more reinforcements coming in from Theognis on the right side of the map. And he has just so many medevacs, just an amazing fleet of medevacs up there, which allows him to, pretty much heal everything instantaneously.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good as a Marine Marauder when you're getting like massaged by all those medevacs. Must feel nice. But Hongun, pretty cool play here, putting 3 High Templar into one of his War Prisms, coming forward once again. Of course, doesn't want to get EMP'd. That's the purpose of that War Prism. But Theognis coming in from the left side, sniping to the Colossus right away, trying to get it there, but gonna back away before the Storms are able to go down. The Storms actually hitting a lot of HongunPrime's own units. And I don't know, man. It looks like Theognis is going to get melted away.
Some bad storms right there. Kind of doing as good. I mean, that went as well as it could have after he lost those Colossus.
Right.
With just those storms. But at this point, Theognis has a really nice economic lead. He's got a nice supply lead. He's got insane production. And he's just streaming and reinforcing the middle of the map, protecting that gold base and just trying to keep HongunPrime from taking his own gold base as well.
Yeah, it looks like this is gonna have to be canceled. I mean, Hongun has a High Templar here, but it doesn't have enough energy for Storm, so that Nexus is going to be canceled. Hongun trying to warp in as many units as possible, but Theognis getting stronger and stronger as the game goes along. His superior economy showing itself right now. He has a planetary fortress at that gold. That's going to be hard to break. Dare I say, near impossible to break with the measly army, if you can call this an army that Hongun has, consisting of what, 3 Archons, like 6 or 7 or 8 Zealots, and 3 High Templar. I don't know, man.
Yeah, he's going to have to land some amazing storms. Here we go. Stim going to go up there, and he's just going to snipe the unit, fall back. Now he's going to go back and forth, snipe that high. Oh, wow. That storm going really badly. There's a good storm. Now he's microing back. There's just, like, not that many units here for HongunPrime. He needs to, like, go back and kind of set up a little bit better, but it seems like Theognis is kind of just picking him apart here.
Yeah, I mean, Hongun trying the best he can, laying down some impressive storms here and there, so definitely trying to stay alive in this game, and he's not out of it just yet, but Theognis does have that comfortable supply lead, and this battle is just never ending. Theognis backing away, doesn't want anything to do with that, trying to force Hongun to engage him at or near, I should say, his planetary fortress. But an Immortal just gonna chill on the high ground and take some shots at the SCVs down below.
I gotta say, both players have amazing upgrades this game.
Yes.
3-1-3 for the Protoss player, and Theognis has 3-3 on his bio, and then what is that, +1 on his air already. So just amazing upgrades for both players. Once again, Theognis, going to take out that 4th base there at the goal, and is HongunPrime going to be able to save this? I don't know. He doesn't have that many Zealots. He could just, that thing's gone, and there's really no reason for HongunPrime to continue to chase here unless he wants to go for a full-on attack. Lost that expansion, so now those probes are forced to do the long-distance mining. Yeah, some Ghosts feeling brave, but going to have to back up. And I guess they're going for EMPs, but the Immortals having none of that. But, Hongun's army looks a little more impressive as the storm goes on to that goal. A lot of SCVs falling. Another storm going down from Hongun. But Theognis trying to position himself for some snipes. Feedback going down onto one of the Ghosts. 1 or 2, I think died there. Yeah, 2. There's some big blood splats right there. So HongunPrime got the upper hand there with those feedbacks as opposed to the snipes that have been going on early. And oh my god, there's so many SCVs. If he storms that, they were all clumped up there for a second. There he goes. Oh no. So many dead right there. Theognis is coming around the right side, going to go in for a flank. Feedback on the Ghost, but that's it. EMP landed. Those Immortals are going to fall back. I like the decision here from HongunPrime to fall back. Not going to morph in that Archon because those High Templar had no energy, and he's just going to continue the pressure, hold onto that gold, and just kind of deny mining here from HongunPrime. But reinforcements are on the way. He's going to have a nice spread here, and is this going to force Theognis to fall back? It looks like. I think that was a smart move right there.
God, Hongun is just staying in this game. He will not quit. A lot of probes just chilling, though. There we go, going back to mining. But yeah, Hongun trying to just get on top of every engagement, staying on the high ground up there, trying to mold the battles, you know, so that he has a superior concave. Theognis is scanning, going to try to get down some EMPs and some snipes. Might have sniped a High Templar there.
He got one there. I heard of him. One of them went down.
Yeah, looks like another engagement going to happen here. Theognis just has so much DPS in that ball. Do any High Templar have any energy for Storm? One does, trying to get as close as possible. There goes the Storm, hitting the entire army, but Theognis is going to back away, and Hongun has 3 Immortals here, and Theognis just does not feel comfortable engaging that.
Like right now, it seems like Theognis has more units in the air than he does on the ground.
Yeah.
Look at all those. Reinforcing now. HongunPrime is pressuring right here, and this isn't working out too well for him. Theognis just got reinforcements. Took out the Immortals, took out the Archons. Zealots coming in a little bit too late, and now smartly, Theognis is going to fall back. HongunPrime has been doing so well off, you know, lesser economy than Theognis has this game.
Yeah, it's really surprising. I almost feel like Theognis should have another base right now, but he doesn't. Another engagement going to happen here. Marines and Marauders from Theognis trying to kite as effectively as possible. 1 Immortal remaining for Hongun. And, you know, Theognis up 107 to 64 supply. A scan going down, trying to see where his opponent is. Trying to see his unit composition. And as dry as this army looks, it may be enough to win this game. Because Hongun is, you know, he's drying up. He doesn't have a lot of money left. Not a lot of gas left. Only a few High Templar and Zealots on the field. And Theognis is just going to try to out-micro his way to victory here.
Yeah, Marine, Marauder, Medevac, you can do that pretty well late game if you're small forces versus small forces. Protoss kind of relies on that death ball late game to kind of break that and just overpower their opponent. And there's the GG from HongunPrime as his last base there starts to mine out. Only a couple 100 minerals left there.
Wow, that game, that was interesting. I mean, I felt like Theognis should have been in a bit. I felt he should have won that like 10 minutes ago, honestly, because once you sniped the third of the Protoss, and after all that damage you did in the main base of the Protoss, it felt like Theognis was just so far ahead, but Hongun just laying down money storms absolutely everywhere. Some good feedbacks on Ghost as well. Just would not die, would not quit, had amazing upgrades and a nice tech switch in there from High Templar to Colossi that Theognis quite simply was not prepared for. So Theognis, you know, taking an early lead. Hongun fighting his way back, clawing his way back, but unfortunately for him was unable to turn the result of this game. Theognis takes it.
Yeah, both players had exceptional decision making, scouting from both players really well. HongunPrime had observers out there next to that gold in the middle of the map. He kept an eye on where all the reinforcements are going to. There's a lot of smart moves both players were doing on retreating, when to attack. Positioning, like you said, great storms, but in the end it just came down to a money game, and Theognis had more money.
Yeah, I mean, well played by him. I'm pretty impressed. Beating Hongun, that's not too shabby at all. But this was a ladder game, right?
Yeah,
I'm guessing so. Good to see Theognis playing on the Korean ladder. Not a lot of North American players will do that because of the lag, so I always like seeing that.
Yeah, so that was a really good game. Thank you for commentating with me here, Axel. Where can everybody find you at on the internet?
Well, hopefully there is a link in the description. So just you know, move your mouse down there. You might have to scroll down a teensy tiny bit, move out a full screen so you can see that little description. But youtube.com/AxelTossSC. I also have a twitter.com/AxelToss. I think I'm 1 away from 500 as of right now. So if you're watching this video 50 years from now, it should say 500,000 million. But that being said, yeah, EonShiKeno, I enjoyed it. Thanks a lot for having me.
Yep, thank you for coming, everybody. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.